I'm Charles Bankhead of MedPage Today, reporting from the American Society for Radiation Oncology meeting in Chicago. Prophylactic cranial irradiation significantly reduced the risk of brain metastasis from lung cancer, but did not improve survival, according to a study reported at ASTRO. Moreover, the preventive radiation caused significant memory loss. Dr. Benjamin Movsis of Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit described the study and summarized its key findings.
We looked at the traditional patient outcomes, such as survival, disease-free survival, but importantly, we were the first study to prospectively look at neurocognition and quality of life as well between these two groups. What we found is that PCI does significantly decrease the risk of a patient developing brain metastases or spread of the lung cancer to the brain by more than 50%, from 18% without the PCI down to 8% with the PCI. But they did not live longer. Importantly, we found that there were no significant differences in quality of life, yet patients who received the PCI did have significantly increased risk of short and long-term memory loss.
Dr. Movsis said the memory loss was subtle but affected patients' lives nonetheless.
We're primarily talking about relatively subtle effects, important effects, such as, a patient might say to me, I'm having more trouble remembering where I left my keys. Something that, usually there's some strategy that we can help the patient with. Something that is noticeable to the patient is certainly clinically relevant and important, but certainly nothing drastic or dramatic. These are generally, we're not talking about situations where somebody doesn't recognize a family member. We're not talking about that. But these are subtle but important and significant memory effects that were noticed in this study.
Whether the memory loss is permanent has yet to be determined, but observations over time have been somewhat reassuring.
The focus in this study was really on memory, both short-term and long-term memory, and that's where we did see a significant effect over time. But interestingly enough, the effect seemed to be more prominent at 3 months, somewhat less prominent at 6 months, and less prominent even more so at 12 months, but still significant at 12 months, which was our final endpoint for this particular study. But it suggests that perhaps there is some potential recovery that's occurring over time.
From the American Society for Radiation Oncology meeting in Chicago, I'm Charles Bankhead, MedPage Today.